Buying a new construction home is a mistake. Home buyers in Surrey are scrambling, losing sleep, and hanging on just to find out whether they have lost thousands of dollars because of yet another pre-sale condominium project having massive financial difficulties. If this doesn't get sorted out, the future of pre-sales in British Columbia is extinct. You know, we've helped a lot of first-time home buyers in our long history of selling real estate buy pre-construction properties. The same story plays out time and time again, where you enter into a pre-sale condominium project, you're very limited in what you can negotiate with the developer. There's some things that they just absolutely will not bend on, and you have to play by their rules. Now, many times this has worked out without issue. People have moved into their condominiums, they've somewhat got what they thought they were gonna get, and they lived happily ever after. But more and more frequently, we're starting to uncover issues with a lot of these new condominium projects that are leaving buyers completely on the hook. Now, luckily this hasn't happened to any of our clients specifically, but you're seeing this pop up all over the news. Bad, terrible things happening to people who are excited to buy a home. And this isn't just limited to people who are looking to buy a home to live in, this was also happening to investors. This was before housing began to be used as a vehicle for investments. Now, it always has been used as a vehicle for investments, but as a personal investment rather than ones that's similar to a stock. People were using it just to simply make money and then flip. Regardless of what the intentions were of these buyers to buy these pre-sale units, we stopped recommending them. We were being very forward with our clients to say, no longer do we think these are a wise investment or a wise purchase for a few reasons that we're going to cover in today's video. Real quick, if you're wondering who I am, my name is Darren, the team leader with the German group in Surrey, BC, where we help people just like you find places to buy or sell in White Rock, BC, Surrey, BC, or anywhere in the surrounding municipalities. So many people for many years thought that buying a new condominium was the absolute safest bet in all of real estate. You go in and you put a down payment in on a new construction property, one that's not going to be built for many, many years out, and you simply let the market grow. You let the equity grow up, or the price that you paid for that unit increase over time until it's time to complete. And maybe you moved into it, or maybe you flipped it for a profit, but the idea was that you bought it at a lower price than what it was worth when it actually came time to pay for the whole thing. But here's the truth. That is a massive, massive gamble. And there's been some developments in the pre-construction industry over the last few years that makes this even more concerning. A massive condo project in Surrey has gone into something called receivership, leaving buyers in chaos. If you're considering pre-sale condos in Surrey, BC, or anywhere in British Columbia, you're definitely going to want to hear this message. So it's in the news again. It's happening again, and it's happening more and more frequently. In Surrey, Thinned Properties' massive condo project was placed into receivership over an $85 million debt. Buyers who trusted this project are now left in limbo, unsure if they'll ever see their investment materialize. This was a 2-tower, 123-unit, yet-to-be-built complex billed as Surrey's new growth center. And unfortunately for Thinned Properties, this isn't the only issue they're having. At the same time, the financial backer of the project, Kingsit Mortgage Corporation, also asked the court to appoint a receiver for 2 more Thin developments, a project named Highline and a project named Minaru Square, a 400-unit condo building that reportedly stalled last year. Important to note that the court has yet to rule on those other 2 applications at this point. So what is receivership? Let's understand what the problem here is. Receivership is a legal process where a court-appointed manager takes control of a failing company's assets. Think of receivership like a referee stepping into a chaotic sports game where the coach has lost control of the team. The referee doesn't play for either side, but takes charge to ensure that the game doesn't completely fall apart. For real estate, this means halted projects, uncertainty, and potential financial ruin for buyers. So why would this happen? Why would a company's project be placed into receivership in the first place? Well, developers in Canada have faced significant financial strain in recent years due to skyrocketing construction costs, rising interest rates, and market slowdowns, leaving many unable to cover their debts. Combined with delays from labor shortages and regulatory challenges, these pressures have pushed several high-profile projects into receivership. And there is a huge fallout and a harsh reality to this happening. Imagine this. You have invested your life savings into buying a beautiful new condominium, one that's pre-sale that's likely not going to be done for a few years. You're dreaming of this beautiful future home and making plans around it. You effectively got your money tied up in the real estate market, waiting for this project to complete, but then the construction and the project is halted indefinitely. Now you're stuck in legal battles with no clear outcome in sight. Think of the fallout of this happening from a delayed or completely canceled project. Think of the increased cost this might cost you while you wait to figure out what happens. Think of the legal and financial uncertainty that comes along with being tied and having your money tied up in one of these projects. There's also other aspects of this to think about as well. Things like market volatility. As an example, if the market got really busy and absolutely took off in terms of equity growth, and your money is tied up in a property that is not even going to go anywhere or be built, well, you're missing out until you get that money back, if you get it back, on what you could be buying before the prices increase. This means a lot of lost opportunity, but there's an even worse outcome that could potentially happen, and that's the loss of your deposit. What if you can't get that money back at all? Here's the crazy thing as well. This isn't an isolated event. This is happening all across Canada. Take the Toronto building, The One. In October 2023, The One, which is an 85-story luxury condominium project at Yonge and Bloor Streets in Toronto, well, it was placed into receivership due to $1.6 billion in unpaid debts. The project, intended to be Canada's first super tall skyscraper, faced significant delays and financial challenges. Or you could consider another Ontario development by Sunrise Homes. In May 2023, Sunrise Homes, an Ontario-based builder, admitted to selling homes illegally, affecting 117 home buyers who were out millions of dollars. The court ordered the company's principals to pay over $10.5 million to the receiver. New construction has been marketed as a safe bet for years, but the reality of that, well, it's really not looking like that's true anymore. Even reputable developers can have their projects collapse, and it's you, the buyer, who ends up paying the price for that. Think of it like buying a ticket for a luxury cruise ship. You buy your ticket and you're promised smooth sailing, but when something goes wrong, you're stranded out in the middle of the ocean with absolutely nowhere to turn. Now, there's other bigger questions that come out of stories like this that are left looming. Should developers even be able to sell pre-sale properties? Sell properties that aren't even built yet. You're basically buying out of a magazine for a price and you don't really even get to see what you're gonna get, and you could run into potential issues just like what we're talking about today. This also raises serious questions about how the pre-sale construction industry operates and who ultimately ends up carrying the most amount of risk. Right now, developers often sell units before construction even starts, using buyer deposits to fund the project. While this reduces their financial risk, it places a huge burden on buyers. Think about it. Would you pay for a car that hasn't even been built yet, and only to learn later on down the road that the company has gone bankrupt and the factory is no longer creating the cars that you built? That's essentially what happens when a pre-sale development goes into receivership. Buyers are left wondering if, number one, whether they will either even get their money back or whether they'll even ever get to move into the home that they purchased pre-sale. This leaves me asking the question, should developers have to have full financing and have a project completely built out before someone like you goes and invests their life savings in trying to buy it? Or should deposits be placed in escrow accounts so the buyer is better protected if something like this goes wrong? These changes could make the process much safer for the buyer, the end user, and also give the process a lot more confidence. It's clear that the current system needs a complete rethink to help not only better protect the home buyer, but also help make sure that developers are held accountable. So what does this mean for buyers? Somebody who is looking to buy a home, someone who's maybe interested in buying pre-sale. Like we've recommended in many videos before, we don't think you should be buying pre-sale. In fact, if you check out the videos on our YouTube channel where we specifically dive into things going on in Surrey, BC, White Rock, BC, or anything happening in the crazy world of real estate in BC, and there's always a ton going on, so don't forget to subscribe, you'll be able to easily find these. Today's video is just one of many reasons why we no longer think buying pre-sale construction is a good deal for somebody like you looking to buy a home. Which reminds me as well, if you are someone who is considering buying a home, be sure to check out the description in this video where we have got a download for you about 21 grants and rebates available right now to help you save some money on buying your next home anywhere in British Columbia. So here's my word of warning for you. if you're choosing to buy new construction. This crisis highlights the need for due diligence. Don't assume that new construction is foolproof. Research the developer's financial health, track record, and ability to deliver on promises. And it also screams the need for change. Should developers even be able to sell pre-construction properties? Should they be able to use your money as a deposit to help fund the build? Or should they even be able to request deposits at all? I'd love to know what you think, and leave a comment below, or if you think this video might help someone you know that's looking to buy new construction, please share it with them. All right, but hold on. You're still convinced that you might want to buy new construction. So what do? If I haven't convinced you yet that resale is the better option, well, these are the ways that you can protect yourself. Number one, research the developer's reputation and financial stability. Number two, consult with a real estate professional who has experience in selling pre-sale condominiums, who knows the market well. And number three, a shameless repeat of what I had just said, don't overlook existing homes. They often come with much less risk than buying pre-construction, just like what we're talking about in today's video. So this is your chance to take control of your real estate decisions. Don't fall for the illusion of safety in buying new construction or pre-construction homes without doing your homework, because you deserve to make sure that not only your investment is secure, but also your financial future is secure as well. If you're curious to learn more about why me and my team have been advising against buying pre-construction for years now, well, you're gonna wanna check out this video coming up next. It's about more of the hidden pitfalls of buying pre-construction condominiums, and believe me, you're gonna wanna check it out because it's pretty eye-opening and a little concerning. We'll see you over there at the next video. Cheers.